Our phone number, 877-937-1047. You can call us anytime and jump on the air with us. Like right now, I was picking up the calls during the song, and I got Katie on the line, and she had a comment question for Peyton. Katie, what's up? Thanks for holding.
Hey, I was calling because I had heard on the Afterwards podcast yesterday that Peyton's going to have some gum surgery, and I just went through it, and I wanted to let her know what she's getting into.
OMG, I actually had one done on one of my lower teeth a couple years ago, but I don't really remember how it went. So tell me what I'm expecting.
Okay, well, and that's where I had mine done, on the lower front. And let me just tell you, I've had, root canals, and I've had my wisdom teeth taken out, and it did not prepare me at all for this surgery. So first of all, first of all, the drugs they give you, the drugs are great. You don't need the anesthesia, so I'll just let you know you can save $500 by that. Because I took a selfie in the dental chair. Do not remember it at all.
Oh,
no. But afterwards, it's not so much the pain of the surgery or anything like that, but it is the strictest diet and the strictest lifestyle changes for 6 weeks. So one, you can't use a straw for several weeks afterwards. You can't spit for several weeks afterwards.
Weird.
I know.
How do you brush your teeth?
Hold on.
If you can't spit, you're not supposed to swallow the toothpaste.
They only told me I was going to be down and out for 3 to 4 days. They didn't tell me 6 weeks. But I'm literally it's my birthday a couple days after that. So I guess I'm going to be snatched on my birthday if I'm not going to have a diet.
God, if you drink alcohol with all that stuff, because you said they're taking stuff off the roof of your mouth, right?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty
that's
gnarly.
Yes.
That's brutal. Unless Katie's doctor had just started. It's a new doctor.
No. This is because they take that off the top of the mouth or the roof of your mouth because they need to get a blood clot for blood flow, I guess for the new gum graft.
Right.
And
That's
if
gross.
you spit or you use a straw, like a water bottle or anything like that, it can dislodge the blood clot. And so you do not want to go through that again.
Dang,
Love
dude.
that. I think I'm going to reschedule my appointment.
Do you need
Yeah, you really should.
Is this doing it because cosmetically, or do you need a gum graft?
Right now, it's at the
No, your teeth will fall out.
Yeah, well, the one that I had before a couple years ago was I needed to have that done because the root of my tooth was exposed. The one that I'm about to get done is cosmetic, but it will eventually get to the point where I need to get it done if I don't handle it.
Dang, it's going to be wild
I'm
seeing you
gonna
in here because you're
reschedule
probably
my
not going to be able to speak right. You're probably
But
going
will you drool? Can you drool?
Yeah, I think I drooled everywhere. This is going to be really gross.
Yes.
Seeing Peyton drooling is going to be fun.
Ew.
All right, Katie.
And
Well,
you can
Katie,
eat only yogurt, and you can only have soup at room temperature. You can't have smoothies with seeds in them.
Oh my
for the
gosh.
first week. And then
jeez.
and if you try to make a face you or anything like that, it hurts.
Ugh.
To make facial faces, I guess.
That's sad.
Or if you try to open something, my kids would give me fruit snacks and be like, "Can you open this?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't put it in my teeth." You're not allowed to bite into sandwiches for 6 weeks.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Good thing
that
Katie
fast. So
called.
there's a whole progression.
Katie,
you called.
you came with some pretty helpful information because, I'm looking at Peyton's face right now.
How are you going to not
Especially because
see
right
faces?
before your birthday, because you know
Yeah.
you've got the whole weekend planned, right? You're
planned.
going to San Diego, doing your thing.
Exactly.
You're going to be a hoot.
It's going to be so fun.
We're going to introduce you to all our radio friends there, and you're going to be drooling on them.
Ew, I'm rescheduling it. I'm not doing that.
Katie, thanks for calling in. Thanks for making our day.
Yeah, have a great day.
It's like every day, first thing we do is check in with Peyton's health. Yesterday, she had a thing under her chin
Oh, yeah.
and a thing in the back of her head.
I'm a mess.
A couple weeks before that, you got your veneers. It's what's going on above Peyton's neck?
What a terrible thing to say. Don't make faces. All Peyton is faces.
Right?
She has many
Did you get an
faces.
update on the thing on your chin? Have you gone to the
No,
doctor?
I go in a couple weeks.
You actually have an appointment? Mm-hmm. That's wild. It reminds me of Kyle's husband. He's having chest pains and stuff. We'll get you in a couple weeks. I figured,
I know. These things seem to be a little bit more urgent.
yeah, man. Crazy, man.
That's when you go to not so urgent care. Just not so urgent.
I wonder how a gum graft will change your speech. Will you have a lisp?
A British accent.
Maybe.
Will you be doing when Kyle does that? What is that when you do?
Yo, guys. You got my gum grass.
That's like braces.
Do that one.
Anyway, Kyle, what's coming up with 3 things you need to know?
So, a motive for the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump has not been established. However, in their investigation, they did uncover so far that the shooter actually went through Secret Service, like with his rangefinder. The Secret Service saw him scoping them out and were like, let's keep an eye on this guy. So they saw him way before anything happened. The shooter specifically asked for the day off from work because he had something important to do. And they found a bunch of explosives in his car, and detonators were found on him on the roof with fully loaded magazines of nearly about 100 rounds and a bulletproof vest. So this could have potentially been so much more catastrophic. I mean, obviously it was a tragic day and we lost lives of people. So it was still terrible. But I guess the Secret Service, the head of Secret Service said she's not stepping down, even though that they decided not to watch that roof because it was too slanted.
Yeah,
and I seen the pictures of it. Didn't really look that slanted.
That was a little weird. She said we decided to secure the inside of the building. Like, okay, but he was on the roof.
The whole thing's weird, man.
The whole thing's very weird. If you're traveling this summer and you've got a booty, just be aware that it may set you back a little bit. So there is a hair care influencer. Her name's Elise Carolyn. She's on TikTok and she says her husband's a TSA agent and swears that people with big booties set off the x-ray machine more often than not. So you may get an extra pat down or may have to take a little extra time at security. Now, TSA says we can't really confirm or deny. We don't know where these are happening, but they did kind of say sometimes butts are the focus when you're going through security because people tend to hide stuff there sometimes.
Well, I see big butts and I cannot lie. See them on the ladies that are coming in to fly. But first they got to pass through the TSA and they're setting off alarms several times a day. Booties flashing red when they pass through the screen. Booties patted down just to see what it means. Yes, I work for the TSA and I'm gonna check your booty if you come my way.
That's great. If you want better sleep, John Jay, I know you're obsessed with getting good sleep scores. They say get moving at night. They found short bursts of light activity can actually lead to better and longer sleep for you. So little things in the evening, like do some chair squats, getting up and down at dinner time or whatever. Do some calf raises, standing knee raises.
How long before you go to bed do you do that?
They just said at night. So in the evening time,
because I've also
relatively
heard
close to when you're going to bed.
You don't want to exercise before you go to bed, is what I've heard. So
it's
this
not
like there's
full exercise.
Right.
It's short bursts of activity. So it's like they're basically saying, don't go straight from being the couch potato binge watching to go to sleep. You're not going to get your best sleep that way. Get up,
but
get
if you're
moving
tired,
a little
don't
bit.
you think you could just go to bed and fall asleep? Although I notice, like, if you ever have a bedroom that's upstairs, by the time you walk upstairs, you're wide awake again.
Well, then that counter says what you said.
I know,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Going up the stairs. That's maybe if you've already sort of fallen asleep and then you got yourself out of REM and all that.
Yeah.
But this is just generally speaking, get moving in the evening time, and that's just going to help you sleep better. And that's 3 things you need to know.
I can go to sleep like that anywhere, anytime. The problem is falling into a deep sleep. That's where I'm studying sleep, how to get into the deep, deep sleep. I can do the REM sleep, the deep sleep. That's what I mean. I only got 19 minutes of deep sleep last night, but I got 2 hours of REM sleep last night. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Painting the vibe for horoscopes.
I'm going to be telling you what you can expect out of your day and for the rest of the week. If it's your birthday today, you are a Cancer. We're getting towards the end of Cancer season, but you share a birthday with a bunch of singers, Callie Uchis, Luke Bryan, and Jeremiah.
877-937-1047. Calls right now to get your sign read. Find out how your day's going. Hello, Mary Kay. What's your sign?
Hi, good morning. I'm an Aries.
All right, Aries, you guys are all about action. You need to channel that inner superhero, inner baddie in you and tackle your to-do list today. Just remember, even superheroes need a coffee break, so go ahead and get you some, okay?
Okay, it's funny because I'm actually here to get some coffee right now.
Look at that. Get a bigger size just because.
I'm an Aries through and through. What can I say?
Thanks, Mary Kay. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. You guys too.
How about for Rich, the Pisces?
Yes, Rich, Pisces, your dreamy nature is in full force today especially. You need to dive into a creative project or spend some time daydreaming, but don't drift off in the middle of a meeting because people are not going to appreciate that very much.
We got a big meeting today, too.
We do, so do not get caught sleeping, okay?
Concentrate.
These big meetings throw me off all the time.
How so?
Because I can't, like, if it's a long meeting, I can't sit still for the whole meeting, you know?
It's
Yeah,
tough.
it is a long
I
meeting.
know,
too.
and I forgot. Normally in the past, remember how I would go to LA and have those long meetings? I would take an ADHD pill, and then I can totally sit there, no problem. In fact, I enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thut you fall asleep when you take like
With Adderall, there was this other pill the doctor gave me called Vyvanse.
Okay.
When I take Vyvanse, like we used to go to LA before COVID, and we'd sit once a year, 2 or 3 days in these meetings
There
for
were like 5, 6, 7 hours.
Hours and
But
hours.
when I took the pill, I was good to go, and I remembered everything too.
You remembered everything, and I
know.
took notes and remembered nothing.
I know.
I'm always impressed. Ever since I was a little kid, when people are in long meetings or whatever it is, I look at the people that look like they're concentrating perfectly and they don't move. It's so impressive. But even that's daydreaming, right?
That
When
is.
you're staring at other people concentrating.
Don't do that today, Rich.
What do you got for Libra for Kyle?
Kyle for Libra, harmony is your middle name today. Smooth over any conflicts and make peace wherever you go, but don't get caught up in anyone else's problems because your zen matters too. Make sure you hit a little woo-saw today.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Harmony.
Hi, Stephanie. What's your sign?
Cancer.
Okay, Cancer, we're in Cancer season. Cancers, you guys are feeling extra nurturing lately. Go and cook that fire meal or give your plants some extra love, but do not overdo it, okay? Like, I know you Cancers, you like to name everything in your fridge. Don't do that. You're going to seem crazy.
Okay.
Thanks, Stephanie.
She's like, wait, I already did that this morning.
Have a great day, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about Virgo?
Virgo, John Jay, your organizational skills are legendary. Tackle your messy drawer or plan your week down to the minute today. Just don't forget to schedule in some fun. Not everything has to be so serious all the time.
Oh, okay. What about for you for Leos?
Leos, it's our time to shine, so we need to walk our walk and soak up all the admiration that's heading our way. Just remember that not everyone can handle our level of fabulousness. So keep that in the back of your mind today.
All right. If we didn't get to your sign, they're all posted on our website, johnjandrich.com. We are 2 hours away from your next shot of Legoland passes. A 4-pack is on the line. In fact, it's the game that Kyle's hosting, which we played it last week. I friggin' love that game. Netflix number one, right? Yeah.
Netflix number
Great
one.
game. Time for Stacks and Hacks. Here's some fun random facts for you guys. The guy who created Atari, which was one of the first home video consoles, is the same guy that started Chicky Cheese. Chicky Cheese.
What's Chicky Cheese?
Chicky Cheese. You know Chicky Cheese? And unrelated, but somewhat related, you know Pac-Man, the video game? You guys know Pac-Man?
Of course.
It was the image of a pizza with a slice removed that made them create Pac-Man.
Makes sense.
Here's a list of signs that someone is intelligent, very intelligent. When they can admit they made a mistake, when they're very good at problem solving, and when they understand an issue enough to argue either side of it. That means they are very intelligent. In a new poll, 22% of people believe it is very likely that they have interacted with a serial killer in their life. Bam. I know I have.
Yeah, it's like statistics say that an average person in their lifetime, you walk past like 36 murderers in your life.
What?
Don't you kind of feel like you can pick them out, though?
I mean, we see one every day.
You know, we might get into that. We might do a whole thing on that, maybe tomorrow. You know, in fact, shoot us a DM or call, and we'll book you on the show tomorrow about if you've ever encountered a serial killer, ever met a serial killer, ever worked with a serial killer, anything like that.
We know a guy whose babysitter was Ted Bundy. We got to get him on.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's scary.
A poll on airplane etiquette found 88% of people think it's okay to recline your seat. We're split on taking shoes off. 76% of people say you can keep your socks on. And 73% say it's fine to tuck a jacket or purse in the overhead bin even though you didn't pay for a carry-on.
I think you can have no shoes on if you're wearing like socks with sandals. Like slides, you can kick them off. But other than that, keep your shoes on.
I think, to me,
Please.
That's safe.
if you have nice feet, then it's okay. If your pedicure is taken care of, then go ahead.
I don't know that people know when they have nice feet or not.
What do you think is the number one, everyone's favorite topping on a pizza? What do you think it is?
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
Pepperoni. That's number one. The oldest socks, speaking of socks, ever discovered are from 300 and 500 AD, and they were designed to be worn with sandals.
Socks with the sandals.
What?
What?
I know, I don't
My
know.
dad was way ahead of his time.
I'm a socks with the sandals girl, so I'll take no hate for that.
What do you think is the least common job in America? There's a list of the least common jobs in America. I mean, it's so random, but like...
Going
clock-
airplane safety guy.
clock and timer precision technicians, and the number 1 is wood paddle makers. There's only 260 of them.
Okay.
What else do I have here? What else do I have? Oh, are you doing a story on the Jonas Brothers at all? Did you hear about the Jonas Brothers?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear it? Did you hear the song?
I didn't hear it.
So they went on stage and they did Friends in Low Places. They were performing at the largest rodeo in the world in Calgary, and they come out on stage and they do Friends in Low Places with the Garth Brooks song. And honestly, they did. I heard the whole thing, and it's really good. Because they obviously they can sing, but they messed up the words. They changed the word. They mumbled the word. Joe Jonas like playing on our roots. I have some of it here, but apparently it pissed off everybody.
And I took close to you, said, honey, we on the through. Won't never complain. 'Cause I got friends in places where the whiskey dry.
They said it came across as bad karaoke.
Yeah, but I mean, when you do karaoke, you wait for the crowd to sing Friends in Low Places with you. The other stuff doesn't even matter. So I'm going to defend them on that.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
Okay, so the military has come up with the fastest way to lose weight in 1 week. Now, I don't think you're going to love the math, but it does check out. So it is 7,000 jumping jacks in 1 week will help you lose 1 pound. And they say, why don't you just do 1,000 a day? Well, that's a lot. So you'd have to break it down over the course of the day, unless you're one of those superhumans that can do. Could you, Peyton, Division I athlete, can you do 1,000 jumping jacks at one time?
Not at one time, but I could break them up.
Over the day?
Yeah, I could probably do like 5 sets of 200.
And they say, like, if you do this, you will lose 1 pound in 7 days if you do 7,000 jumping jacks. In fact, they even doubled down on it and said, really, it doesn't even matter what you eat. You do 7,000 jumping jacks, you're going to burn through it. So there's a fun life hack for you if you want to try it and report back to us. Maybe do one of those QuickTime videos and send it to us. We'd love to see it. That life hack and many more can be found at johnjaneRich.com.
Elise, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, John Jay and Rich, it's Elise. I was just calling because I was listening to your afterwards podcast about eyebrows. And at the very end of the podcast, John Jay, you go, and that's our podcast. And then it just cuts off. And it was just so great because I love that kind of Oops.
Oh, my God. Now you ruined it by cussing.
No.
Elise, gee. I don't remember doing that at the end of the podcast.
You did.
You make a lot of weird noises.
That's your new sign off. People love it.
John Jane Rich. Phone number is 877-937-1047. All our social media, John Jay and Rich. You can get a hold of us anyway, anytime. So, something happened this morning in my house, and I'm putting the pieces together right now of certain things because, I have my routine in the morning. I have a very detailed routine. And when something's off. You know what I mean? So when I get up this morning, I've been trying to go to bed as early as I can, earlier and earlier every time. So I think I went to bed around 8:15 last night. And my wife went to bed around the same time. Well, when I got up this morning, did my normal routine, the lights were on in the living room, lights were on in the kitchen. And Dutch, my son Dutch, I've talked to him about it before, he gets scared to turn off the light, be the last person to turn off the light because it's dark, right? So he says, I'm not going to ever turn off that light. So that light was on. Then when I go outside to do the hot tub, so I have my routine hot tub cold plunge, I walk out and I could see the light in the playroom on too. And I'm like, and there's something so creepy about it. When it's dark outside and the light's on, it's like, why is that on? What happened? But if it was daytime, I'd be like, turn off the light.
Everything is frightening at that time of the morning. It's true.
So I get out and I get in the hot tub, and when I look, we have we just got this thing made. It's a lid for the cold plunge because it's so hot. I didn't want to burn all this energy trying to keep the cold plunge cold, and then the sun's heating it up. So we got a lid on it, custom made lid, so it fits on top. And when I got in the hot tub, the lid wasn't there. What's up with why isn't the lid there? So I take my, I have my towel, cell phone, put it on this one little chair, and then I get in the cold plunge. When I get out, I go get the lid. The lid fell off the top, and I put the lid on, and I'm like, what went on here last night? Because I went to bed so early, and I got 3 boys, right? I got a teenager, a 20-year-old, and a 21-year-old. And I was like, something's not right. So I get out of the hot tub, and I get in the cold plunge. I put the lid back on. I grab my towel, and I hear this noise. Blump. And it was my phone going into the jacuzzi.
Oh, no.
And it's dark.
No.
And I'm like, no! no! Like, you could hear me, I think, like, if someone was next door. No! And I jump in, and I don't want to get my head wet, because I'm trying to, like...
But you wouldn't be able to see it underwater.
No, underwater, it's too deep.
Yeah.
My hands are going, and I'm trying to find it, and I finally put my head underwater, and I'm looking for it, and I found it, and I get up, and then I'm like, well, I just defeated the purpose of the cold plunge. I get back in the cold plunge. I'm like, it's going to be so cold. So I just took a shower instead. And I was like, I immediately texted my wife. My phone worked. And I go, hey, my phone fell in the hot tub. It's working right now. It might not work, but just in case you'll never hear from me again. But you know what I mean? It was like that.
Yeah.
And now my phone, it's been hours. My phone's working just fine. Isn't that wild?
That is crazy.
Which generation phone do you have? It's
Generation X?
no, I'm being for real.
14. I
because
think of 14.
I think that the newer iPhones have like they're water resistant up to a certain amount of feet. I think.
Oh,
I
really?
might be wrong. But
Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because it's working just fine.
Well, let's see.
Except when I try to charge it. When I went home, when I went upstairs, I had to go to charge it. It was like, some malfunction. It wouldn't charge, but maybe that's because it was wet. So then I called my wife just now before we went on the air, and I go, "What happened last night?" She was like, "Dutch had a party."
Of course he did.
Dutch had a party last night. Well, I would go to bed at 8:30, and I can't hear anything. I got headphones on. I got earplugs in. I can't hear anything.
He
I don't
knows.
know what to do. That's something going on. Carmen in Glendale, what noise do you know, like what I was explaining that's terrifying?
It's the microwave. You know when it's done heating or whatever and it starts beep, beep, it creeps me out because it just reminds me of the hospital.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's good.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what's funny about the microwave? Whenever I put something in the microwave, I have to get it out of the microwave before it's done. I don't want to hear the beep or any of that stuff. And I feel like it's
And do
bad
you
luck.
leave the timer on like whatever? Because that drives me crazy.
I
When I
do.
see 3 seconds left.
I do, because then I'm going to go back and put something in for 3
That
seconds.
drives me nuts. I'm like, why can't you zero that out? I want to see the time, and I don't want to see the time left.
And
That's an
then
OCD thing.
I'm just waiting for that sound at the end. Beep. It's over.
There's also the
Game
smoke
over.
detector alarm is annoying as hell, too.
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
one's annoying.
Yeah, Grant Inman in the studio.
I have a noise that really bothers me, that freaks me out, and it always happens in the middle of the night. You know the door stoppers, the spring door stoppers?
Like that?
My cat will just walk up to one, and it'll just be completely quiet in the middle of the night, and you'll just hear... and it's like somebody's in our apartment.
Yeah.
Somebody's up doing something, and I don't like it. So, yeah, anyway, that's my little...
That's good. Yeah,
That's a good one.
Traumatized.
So Dutch, he's 17. He turns 18 tomorrow, right? And I realized as I was trying to plan something at dinner for his birthday, that's one of those days. He's 18 on the 18th.
It's his golden birthday.
Yeah,
That's a
right.
big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So what exactly does that mean? And what is, as a dad, what are my duties?
Well, I don't know. My golden birthday, I was 10, so I had a big birthday party and snow cones and a bouncy machine.
That sounds
so
great.
So maybe you can do that for Dutch.
So when you were 10, did you know it was your golden birthday?
Oh, it literally said happy golden birthday. Everything was gold. I had a gold dress. I had a gold tiara. We were extra. I'm a Leo.
Do you still have that gold dress? Maybe I give it to Dutch.
I might.
That would be perfect.
It would be like a crop top on Dutch.
My golden birthday was also my 18th birthday.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my birthday's October 18th.
Did you know it
So,
was your golden birthday?
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, it just feels like an extra special birthday.
It
So
does.
make it even more big of a celebration.
Because it's weird, because I told you we got him those shoes in L.A., and that's like his present. So it's like, we already give him his present. Now what?
You can just throw like an epic party.
He did that last
Taco
night.
truck.
For no
He
reason.
wants to go to dinner. We're going to dinner at 5 tomorrow, so he can go out with his friends after.
Oh, well, then that's cool.
But that's normal.
You could make him a special breakfast or something that he can wake up to, or just do a couple extra nice things for him that day.
I can wake him up.
Yeah, turn off the lights and scare him. You're a man now. You have to get used to this. But 18, I remember my daughter Audrey just turned 18 a few months ago, and she looked up all the things you can do now that you're 18.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them, I guess her brother told her, and she was looking forward to it. And he was lying to her for years. It's like, you can now go to Home Depot and buy yourself a ladder. Before that, she thought she couldn't. She's like, Dad, can we go to Home Depot? And I'm staring at her like, yeah, I guess what? She's like, I want to buy a ladder. I'm 18. I'm like, you could always buy a ladder at Home Depot. You're fine. But there is a bunch of things you could do now that you're vote for one.
Oh, yeah, he can vote.
You can go to the hookah lounge.
You can go to the
You can
hookah
be
lounge.
18 and go to the hookah
I feel like
lounge.
he's probably already been there. That kid is that kid's something else, man. My golden birthday is the 4th. I remember it well.
Yeah. Your 4th birthday.
No, I don't remember any of that stuff. That doesn't make. I think I just started hearing about golden birthdays, but so anyway, I got to try to figure something out. I don't know what to do. It's his golden birthday. What up? Mitch, John, Jane, Rich. I have a mashup. I thought it was really cool. It's long, but I'm going to play some of it. Because, the national anthem was in the news yesterday, and it will be in the news today, right? Because of the country singer ruined it, right? Check this out. This is some of the worst Star Spangled Banners ever. Starting with Roseanne Barr.
I'll say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Anyway, it's terrible. I can't.
And that's the Roseanne, like the TV show Roseanne.
Yeah,
Didn't she get canceled after that?
No. She got canceled about a year or two ago, but this is I think this was in the 90s. When she did it.
Yeah, I saw this TikTok thread on her and how she got canceled, and basically her career went downhill after this national anthem.
I feel like she's done a few things to get herself canceled and come back. Yeah.
Well, this Ingrid Andress, that's her name. She did this. She issued a statement yesterday apologizing for a horrible performance. Says she's going to go into rehab and all this stuff.
She was super wasted.
Yeah, she was drunk. So here are some great national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, an all-star Star-Spangled Banner, Lady Gaga.
Oh, say, can you see?
Darius Rucker.
Violet on early light.
Melissa Etheridge.
What so proudly we hailed.
Usher.
At the twilight's last gleam.
Demi Lovato.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
Fall Out Boy.
Through the perilous fight.
Little Big Town.
O'er the ramparts we watch.
Journey.
Where Sir gallantly street.
Rascal Flatts.
And the rocket's red glare.
Idina Menzel.
The bombs bursting in air.
Patrick Monahan of Train.
Gave proof through the night.
Joe Piscopo.
That this glorious flag was
Trisha Yearwood.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Ariana Grande.
For the land of the free.
Whitney Houston.
Those were good ones.
Whitney and Idina Menzel. I got those chills.
I mean,
took
if
her
you're
down.
that girl, Ingrid Andress, you got to be like, oh my gosh, right? I mean,
She messed it up.
I wonder what she was thinking. No big deal. I'm going to do this. Nobody's going to care.
Or maybe she was so nervous she started drinking. Feel like she would kick the nerves or something like that.
And then she said she's going into rehab, and she said rehab will be fun. Did you see that? And then people she's getting trolled for saying rehab's not fun. How dare you?
Yeah, but I feel like she's probably trying to lighten the mood, But yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of lightening the mood, Kyle Unfuggy in the studio. I want to get into the situation that you're in because I don't know the whole story, but I feel like it's a situation.
It was a little situation. Yeah, so you guys know my son, Easton, he broke his arm. And we had a friend send us, she was really nice. She sent us a board game and said, since you won't be able to swim the rest of the summer, you'll be able to play this. And then Rich's daughter, Audrey, she comes over and she babysits my kids a lot. And she actually, surprised him with a couple of, games too. And I'm really big on thank you cards. It's passed down from my grandma to my mom to me. And so I'm trying to instill that in my kids too, because I think it's someone gives you a gift, it's good manners to send them a thank you card. And I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. So
you're really good at that. You do that all the time. That's very nice. Yeah.
Thank you. So I told Easton that he needed to do a couple of thank you cards. So do one for Miss Audrey, Rich's daughter, and do one for Miss Ashlyn, my friend who gave him the board game. And he was like, well, I can't really write good because this hand doesn't work the same because he broke his right arm and he's right-handed. And I said, you know what? Just do the best you can. It's kind of like the effort and just do it, right? And so he did one. It was like I think a picture of him and then another person. And I had told him, hey, we're going to see Miss Ashlyn tomorrow. So let's do that one first. And then we're going to see Miss Audrey probably in a week or two. And we'll give her hers then. So thinking that he would do Ashlyn's first, right? And on the card, it didn't really say to anyone. It just had a picture of a boy and a girl and then a heart, right? And then it said Easton, kind of. You could kind of read it, right? Well, I told Scott in the morning, well, Ashlyn's coming to pick up the kids, make sure that the thank you card is with them and whatever. And I guess Scott told me afterwards, he's like, this morning, Easton had a real problem with the thank you card. I was like, what do you mean, a problem with it? Because he didn't want to give that one to Ashlyn. He said that wasn't for her. I was like, okay. I was like, so did you keep home or did you give it? He said, no, I gave it to her because it was the thank you card and you said to give it to her. So I pick him up, right, from the play date. And I was like, what happened with the thank you card? He's like, I need it back. And I was like, what? He's like, I need it back. That was for Miss Audrey. That wasn't the card for her. And I was like, okay, but I told you to do that one first, and then we could do the Miss Audrey one later, because at the end of that one, he said he can't do another card. It's too hard to write right now. He needed a break. And I was like, it's kind of like she wouldn't really know if that was the one for Miss Audrey, because it's not like you put Audrey's name on it. And he's like,
but he knows.
And he's like, I need it back. And I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, she's my friend. It's not like whatever. But I'm like, how awkward to ask someone for the thank you card you gave them back.
Now, have you already asked her for it back?
Yeah. So,
I was say, what if she threw it away? What if she's like, oh, it's cute, yeah, I threw it away. She's like, it's like in a dumpster. She was at Safeway and she just threw one of those little random things on the way in to get groceries.
So sad. No, so I went to her and I was like, this is kind of random, but can I have that thank you card back? She's like,
no, I treasure this.
Yeah. I'm like, apparently that one wasn't for you, and you wanted to make a special different one for you specifically. And she was like, okay. So she gave it back, and Easton's face when I got it back was like, that's right. You will get this where it needs to go.
So you saw her face to face and asked for it back, and she had it right then and there?
Yeah.
She had it, okay. Because I thought, for real, that she threw it away and she went back to the Safeway or the CVS and was going through the dump trying to find it.
I knew she would have it with her because she got it yesterday morning. And then she takes my kids to the movies because we do that Harkins Summer Movie Fun. Mm-hmm. And then I picked them up when the movie's over at the movie theater. So I knew she would still have it with her. But now I have it.
Because when Rich gets those things, you ever seen Rich? He just rips them in the shreds. So if you say, hey, that was a few, can I get that back?
Yeah, what am I going to put it in my backpack and carry it around for a while?
Be all taped up. Hey, Janet in Tucson, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on?
So I had a funny story to share about firefighters, if you have a moment.
Sure, we have a moment.
So I was 12. My dad took me to my dentist appointment to get my retractor when I had braces. And I didn't eat or drink anything that morning. So when they were teaching me how to turn it, I passed out. And after I came to, they told me to stay laying down. The firefighters were on their way. So I was like, okay, after the firefighters get there, you know, they're doing my vital checks and everything. And I just lay there looking up at the one that's holding my head. And I was like, you know what? You guys aren't hot.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, I said that with my dad being there. I was like, oh, gosh.
Because you thought firefighters were supposed to be really good looking because of all the calendars?
Yeah, but they were all offended because they were old. I was not expecting that as a 12-year-old. But I mean,
yeah.
Thanks, Janet. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing that story with us. Let's get to some entertainment news. What's the latest with Adele?
So she's doing her Vegas residency, but after that's over, she basically announced that she's not going to be doing any new music.
I don't have any plans for new music at all. I want a big break after this, and I think I want to do other creative things just for a little while.
So maybe movies, maybe TV, maybe she was going to do some producing. She didn't really expound on what other creative projects she wants to do.
That's a bummer.
But we love Adele music.
I know. And she said that she just doesn't like being famous. That is just not a life for her.
I know.
So
she's so talented, though.
Speaking of obscenely famous, first of all, Drake's house.
Yeah.
He always copies me and then overdoes it. Like that flood. Did you see the flood?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
that flood
the
was
video is
crazy.
insane.
This is in that mansion in Toronto, right? This is the
Yep.
$100 million one, right?
Yep, the one that was like featured in the architectural magazines.
Yeah.
And yeah. So they're having super bad weather. Like they've had 3 huge, like catastrophic storms in Toronto. And during this latest one, some, I should say, like a tsunami of water had somehow made it into Drake's house, and it's like brown and gross
And deep.
deep. Like he's filming, and it looks like it's at least like past his ankles, like up to his calves. And he's like, "This better be espresso martini." I mean, it must be nice to be Drake because there's like millions of people in Toronto without power, and if that's happening to Drake's mansion, I can only imagine to like what's happening to like us normal people type houses.
Right.
You know, like insane.
I wonder if you're his insurance, you're like, oh God, no.
Yeah, because I looked over at Scott because he was sitting next to me when I was watching the video, and I was like, wow. If John Jay's taught me anything, this isn't going to be cheap for Drake. Because water damage is not cheap to fix.
The stuff we just went through for the last 3.5 weeks, so far, insurance is saying they're not covering it.
No.
They don't cover pipes. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's the reason for insurance?
Right.
Like, this is why you get insurance for this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of battling with them, kind of.
Yeah, keep battling because they needed to help.
I know. So Patrick Mahomes, I've been watching that show Receivers, and they do show him on Receivers, and I'd really like him. But now what?
Well, him and his wife announced that they're going to have another baby. So it'll be baby number 3 for the Mahomes family. But he basically says, that's it.
I'm done. I'll say that. No, 3. I said 3, and I'm done. So no, it's awesome. I always wanted to have kids young. I got to grow up in the locker room. I think I've talked about it before, and it made such an impact in my life. And so it is really cool because I spend so much time in the building at football for these 7, 8 months, and whenever I'm with my family, I want to enjoy those moments.
Doesn't he sound like he should be a cartoon pit bull?
Totally. He should do voice acting.
Yeah.
His voice is it's kind of fun.
Did you see it was his wife's Instagram when there were like 4 pictures and you scrolled the last 2 are her and Taylor Swift. They're on a double date.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. How about Natalie Portman?
So I love this. You guys remember, let's flash back to Paris week when it was like they were like behind the scenes and Rihanna and Natalie Portman met. And it was like this beautiful moment where they were fangirling over each other.
Are you kidding me? You are one of the hottest in Hollywood forever. You do the most innocent look, and I'm like, ah!
And we're like, what a great moment for them. And so Natalie was just doing an interview, and she basically was asked, like, how was that meeting Rihanna?
It was an amazing experience for me. I think every woman going through a divorce should get to have Rihanna say to her that she's a bad
So basically she's like, Rihanna helped me through that divorce because, it gave me a little confidence, a little boost when I needed it.
What about Rob Lowe and Tom Cruise?
I love this story, but it's like flashback to like forever ago. So Rob Lowe and Tom Cruise both worked on a movie together called The Outsiders. And Rob Lowe said he was about 17 and Tom Cruise was 18 at the time. And he said they became really good friends, but they had interesting habits like outside in their downtime because they were like stuck on set. So what they would do is they would like box each other.
We would wear headgear and we'd have mouthpieces in, but we would legitimately spar. And I just remember Tom is jacked. I'm like a pipe cleaner arm. I haven't started working out yet. I am not jacked. And Tom is like this beast, but I hit him real clean and like rang his bell. And the next thing I knew, I woke up, I was coming to on the floor. And he like completely knocked me out.
Rob Lowe's got the best Hollywood stories.
Yeah, he says he's got a lot of Tom Cruise stories, but that one was his favorite.
That's actually crazy because I remember watching The Outsiders in like sophomore English, and I had no idea it was Tom Cruise and Rob Lowe.
Totally.
And I remember being like, "Oh, these guys are hot."
Yeah.
There's a bunch of boys from that movie that went on to be massive stars.
Really, it's such a great movie and a good book.
I mean, the Karate Kid is in there. Ralph Macchio is in there from Cobra Kai.
I think it's time to go rewatch The
Dennis
Outsiders.
Quaid. Is Dennis Quaid there? Am I getting that? Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, Josh Brolin in that too?
I know he's in Goonies. I don't know if he's in that.
Man, I think he is too.
But anyway.
Matt Dillon.